But Fermin Lopez today I was just so impressed with this young man.
Fermín nos da dinamismo.
Y nada, para mí el Barça es el sueño que he tenido desde pequeño, ahora lo he podido cumplir y ojalá estar muchos años en el Barça.
Fermin Lopez might be Barcelona's best attacking midfielder right now. Forget about Dani Olmo, Pedri or Gundogan. Fermin has been performing game in, game out for a year now. And frankly, no one deserves a place at Barcelona more than him. And no one deserves more appreciation. So let's get into it and dive into the story of Barcelona's best attacking midfielder. As a child, Fermin Lopez grew up in Sevilla and played for Real Betis. In 2016, Barcelona discovered him and decided to get him to La Masia. And although he has spent years of his life at La Masia, he has always been seen as quite an atypical La Masia player. Most La Masia players are technical and are specialized in vision, passing and reading the game. Think about the likes of Riqui Puig and more recently Quim Junyent or Tony Fernandes, just to name a few. Fermin Lopez, however, was better at shooting from distance and making runs into the box. He was still technically brilliant, don't get me wrong, but he just wasn't as composed as most other La Masia players. When he started to get old enough for first-team football, he realized that getting minutes at Barcelona would be hard. That is why he spent the 2022-2023 season out on loan at Linares. There he absolutely exploded and scored 12 goals and gave 4 assists in 40 games. Those are incredible stats for an attacking midfielder. Barcelona noticed how good he was playing at Linares, so when Fermin came back from his loan spell, he knew he would get a chance at Barcelona from Xavi. And by the way, this shows that going out on loan isn't necessarily a bad move for La Masia players. So currently, for Marc Asado for example, going out on loan might not be a bad move. But back to Fermin Lopez. In the pre-season under Xavi last year, he took his opportunity with several brilliant performances, one of which was that Clásico against Real Madrid. Barcelona fans now started to see what kind of player Fermin was. He doesn't mess around, he takes risks, he's technically sublime, he shoots from distance, he makes smart runs. Well, that is Fermin Lopez for you. So, at the start of the season, Fermin wasn't in Barcelona's starting lineup. But I mean, there was Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, Gundogan, Gavi, even the great Oriol Romeu, so you can understand why Xavi didn't immediately give him a starting 11 place. However, as the season went on, Pedri started to get plagued by injuries, Frenkie de Jong too, and Gavi didn't just get injured, he straight up tore his ACL. Xavi only had one solution: Fermin Lopez. In the first half of the season, Fermin Lopez was a little hit and miss. There were some games in which he was decisive, but Barca fans could also see that he wasn't as good as someone like Pedri in terms of passing and reading the game. All things considered though, Fermin Lopez definitely left a strong impression in those first few months of the season. In the second half of the season, however, Fermin didn't only play because of others being injured. No, Xavi could have played with Rafinha or Gundogan as the more attacking midfielder, but Fermin Lopez had really just become his go-to option in that role. Fermin was improving as the season went on. By the end of the season, he had become one of Barcelona's most impactful players with a total balance of 11 goals and 1 assist in 48 games. It's fair to say that Fermin Lopez had broken through at Barcelona. At the Euros with Spain, Fermin never really got a solid chance, but I mean, Pedri and Dani Olmo were in that squad too, and Dani Olmo really was in the best form of his career thus far. However, at the Olympics, Fermin did get his chance, and wow, 6 games, 6 goals and 2 assists. Now I understand that the Olympics aren't the same as the Euros, but those stats are just sublime. Fermin led Spain to that Olympic gold medal. Without him, they probably wouldn't have won it. Fermin just again proved to be lethal with his dribbling, his defensive work ethic, and most importantly, his shots from distance. And that is where we're at right now. Fermin Lopez is maybe one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, so he definitely deserves a lot of minutes at Barcelona next season. And what about Dani Olmo, Pedri or Gundogan? Well, Dani Olmo is injury prone and he can also play at left wing. As for Gundogan and Pedri, they can also play in a deeper role in midfield. Pedri on top of that is also very injury prone. So if you think about it, there maybe could be a way for Fermin Lopez to have a starting 11 spot in Hansi Flick's Barcelona. And he definitely deserves it. There is just no other Barcelona midfielder who is also not injury prone and who can give you 10 goals a season while also still being that good technically. Sure, there's Dani Olmo, but I just really hope Hansi Flick will play him mostly at left wing, because it would be really sad if Dani Olmo were to be the reason that Fermin Lopez doesn't get a lot of minutes at Barcelona. Because if he were to end up on the bench this season, I can easily see him becoming a new Fabregas or Thiago, go to another big club and become one of the best midfielders in the world there. Fermin Lopez is one of Barcelona's biggest jewels, and I just hope Hansi Flick realizes that. So, Forza Fermin Lopez, Forza Barça, and of course, have a good day.